What's going on, everybody? This is a new episode of the Bitcoin Source. Today, we have a fascinating guest with us, Bitcoin Rodney, a renowned expert in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain, and just an overall, hard time hustler and entrepreneur. To get things started in the show, Rodney, kind of like introduce yourself to the world, even though I did it briefly, and let people know what you have going on.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Bitcoin Rodney, coming to you guys straight from Miami today. I'm just one of those guys who believes in giving a hand up instead of a hand down. I believe in helping individuals go from zero to hero real quick. I believe in, that right now this is a world of digital currency. I believe that we're moving forward or towards a different world of finance, and we definitely need to get prepared for it. I've been in crypto since 2017. I've been able to help and create over 7,000 multimillionaires in the crypto space. I've done a lot of different things in the arena of digital marketing and online marketing. At the present moment, I do luxury car rentals. I do luxury yacht rentals. I have a restaurant that I'm working on. I have a couple places inside of hotels that I Airbnb. So let's say I got a few things going on from A through Z.
Yeah, man. I've been watching you for quite some time, and I always love the hustler spirit that you have. And, I've read your story, heard about your story, and you've come from humble beginnings and you kind of made for a name for yourself in this industry, which is, very unique, and it's a cool place to be because blockchain cryptocurrency is this new phenomenon that's kind of taken the world by storm. And it's always good to see people that look like myself in this space that I can always, parlay information between to kind of get more people to know about you and what you have going on. And that kind of segues into my first question because, when I saw you on the Breakfast Club, naturally from our culture, everybody's tuned into the Breakfast Club and we're like, who's this Bitcoin Rodney guy? And we hear your story and it kind of inspires people, right? And it inspired me, of course. And luckily for me, I've been working with Black Bitcoin billionaires. So I'm really close to Lamar Wilson. So I knew about you and he was also on the Breakfast Club. But what I want people to know about you, Rodney, is your philanthropy, like how you give back and you really help out your communities. So the first question I have for you, Rodney, is what is the Bitcoin Rodney Foundation and how are you educating people on cryptocurrency?
Um, Number one, I've given back to a number of different schools where they had a actual problem with their music department, and I was able to give back pianos to the music department for kids to be able to play piano. One of the pianos that I purchased to be able to give back was a piano from Alicia Keys from the movie Power, and they're using that piano now and creating great music. I was happy to get back to do that. I give back a lot to cancer care because my mother passed away of cancer. So I've done. If you see, I have a few awards on the back wall here, and one of those is to women and men who have cancer. So and as far as me helping people with crypto, the most important thing that anyone should know that I try to tell everyone is learn the basics. Get educated first before you get out there and try to put your money out there and you're gonna lose it, and then you're gonna blame the guy who brought you in because your money's gone, and it really may not have been the guy who took your money. The market may have corrected itself. You might have been in a bad market era at the time. There's a lot of reasons why you could have lost, and it could have been just you. I know, but if you're educated and then you'll know exactly what happened to your money or how you made money, and then you can continue doing the same thing over and over again, little by little, and that's how you're gonna be able to start to gain wealth. Another thing is that most individuals, when they purchase crypto, they just sit on it. The best thing to do with crypto when you get it is know what to do with it once you got it, how to move it around, where to put it. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now, even with the almighty dollar. So, you know what I mean? So even the dollar is going down right now, but there's still a way to earn money in crypto, whether the market is up or down. Now, I'm not some kind of established great trader. Let me be the first one to tell you, I'm not a guru at trading, but I do have a lot of individuals I deal with who are gurus, who I consult with to make certain moves and certain investments to make sure I and my clients actually earn money.
Yeah, most definitely. And I love that point that you made where you said that you're not like a guru of trading. And I think a lot of people that are in our culture, they get wrapped up in the quick money or just thinking that trading is easy or something that anybody can do. And what they don't realize is like trading on a traditional legacy market with stocks is difficult as it is, especially imagine being in the crypto space where it's super volatile. And I think a lot of times people, like you said, they put the blame on influencers or people that are successful in the industry. If they buy a particular coin and they get rug pulled or they lose their
Right.
money because they don't have financial savvy or know-how about how to go about really arbitraging this ecosystem. And for me personally, I always tell people, if you're new, I always say just go towards Bitcoin because it's the most stable, or as stable as it can be, I should say. And you kind of learn from there. You learn from the ground up. A lot of people go in the reverse. They end up going into other different cryptocurrencies and they find their way to Bitcoin. But I wanted to hear like more about your Bitcoin story as far as, it being referred to as digital gold, a store of value. So, what are some of the key attributes of Bitcoin that you think makes it comparable to gold or real estate? And do you see it becoming a mainstream store of value in the future?
I believe there's a mainstream store value now. Uh, will it be more later? Probably so, especially with things happening in July with Fed now. All the major things that are happening, people are running from Fed now and trying to get their money out, trying to put it into digital currency. But I've been doing this. I've been into cryptocurrency since 2017, and even to this day, I still am a novice when it comes to crypto. I just happen to know certain people in certain places and certain platforms in order to increase my wealth. Now I've failed my way to the top. Just to be honest with you, I've told the story before that I've made a lot of money on accident in the very very beginning, just to go back and lose half of it again because I wasn't educated enough because I made it easy in the first time. But now I'm definitely way more savvy than I was back then. I keep better company, better individuals around me that know more than I do in the crypto space. And that's the most important thing is getting around people who know a lot more than you. Now, um, I've been able to purchase properties, vehicles, other investment properties with crypto. Buy take flights with crypto, buy clothes, pay for my bills at clubs with crypto. So in certain places of the world, crypto is something that people spend every single day. It's already way more mainstream in other places than it is here. And the places that here that I spend my crypto at, they didn't spend crypto before I got to them. I made them accept crypto or I wasn't gonna do business with them, period. So because I had so much crypto to use. And so that's how mainstream it already is. And a lot of individuals just don't know that. And you got certain restaurants now, and they put a sign and say, "Hey, we accept crypto or we accept Bitcoin." There are some of the two biggest strip clubs. Not saying I've been there, but in Las Vegas, all they do is accept crypto. You know, so it's already a mainstream thing right now, whether it be Bitcoin or Ethereum or Ripple. There are a lot of places right now that accept Bitcoin as mainstream currency. There's certain countries right now that's their main currency. I believe it's Venezuela. I think that's their main currency now is crypto.
Yeah, El Salvador, I believe that's
Oh, maybe it's El Salvador. Okay, one of
El
those.
Salvador. Yep.
Yeah.
So like that's fire. Like I just think that that's where the world is going, and people are trying to get out of paper assets. They're trying to get into this digital realm. You see what Meta's doing. You see Apple just has the new VR glasses. Like there's so many
Yeah.
things that's going to start happening. And I know you've said this story a million times, but just for my viewers to get a background on like when you talk about having so much crypto that it's to the point where if you go to the club or you valet your car, you're not going to allow them to take anything but what you have, in abundance, which is crypto. So could you tell us about, your story of how you reinvented yourself, by flipping that $1,000 to make, these profits that became life changing? Could you give the audience some like rules to live by that made you so successful?
To be honest with you, I mean, I did flip $1,000 into a lot of money, but that wasn't my first actual, presence of crypto. When I first got into crypto, I was actually broke. Broke as a joke. Cars being repo, about to be evicted. I mean, this is the honest truth. Nobody knew it. I kept it to myself, and I just grinded my way to the top. And um, it was like 3 or 4 days before the people would come in and put my shit on the street. Right? Get a phone call. This guy says, "Hey, there's this company out in London. They want to meet you. I said, what do you want to meet me for? They want you to be like the quote unquote guy for their crypto thing, probably the token black guy, probably, right? And so I said, are they paying for the flight? Are they paying for the food? They paying for both of those, I'm going. You know what I mean? I ain't got nothing else to lose, right? I'm already lost my car, repoed. They about to come put my shit out on the street, right? So I'm like, hey, I go, let me go figure it out. And I didn't even care what the program was they had. I didn't care. I didn't care what it was. So I get there. I'm in London, and we go to this meeting. And on the way into the meeting, there's a long line outside. There's a line of people that did not look like me, and some of them had bags of money, suitcases of money, briefcases with money, and they were in line and getting to this meeting to give these guys their money for Bitcoin, crypto, and it was this new thing, and to me, it was just sexy. So I know one thing about crypto, or I know one thing about sales is anything sexy sells, right? So I didn't really have enough information at the time. I didn't have enough knowledge to dig down and say this is 100% legit or not legit. I did the best I could, talked to a few attorneys. And back then, even as I say now, I believe that crypto's still in a certain gray area and it's still making rules every single day to, you know, help the consumer or push the consumer away, either or, depends on how you look at it. But at that time, when they asked me, they said, "Okay, now Rodney," they gave me this spiel on what the program was, how it worked. I said, "Man, let me be honest with you, man. I ain't got no money. I can't afford to even get in." I mean, they thought I was some great big guru because my image, was that, right? But I said, "Man, I ain't got no money to get in." He said, "You don't need no money. You should call a few of your friends or your associates that have done pretty well. We'll put them on the phone with us, and wherever they put in, you earn some extra money from that." I said, "All right, what I got to lose?" Called a few of the homies back home, got on the line with these guys. One dude did 8,000, one did 10, one did 15, da da da. Next day, I had $8,000 in my pocket. I said, "Shh, I'm gonna tell everybody about this." You know what I mean? It was just that easy. You know what I mean? And so at the time, I had never ever purchased crypto. Actually, at that time, I earned the money. I was earning crypto at a very, very fast rate. And then I took, a portion out and I put it into a trading platform at the time called Poloniex. And that's when I experienced with my first millions of dollars on accident, where I was able to purchase up to $10,000 worth of Ripple at 3 cents. And I didn't really know what I was doing. And it went from 3 cents to $3,
Yeah.
you know, in a matter of time. And I hit big on there. So I had a lot of money to play with, gamble, learn a few things, put a few little bit of money here, 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 to figure the market out. So that's how it all got started. And I've been with a few programs that did very, very well in the beginning and not so well at the end. Trial and error, learning, the crypto game. Um, Not more smarter now than I was before. But would I change anything at all from then to now? Almost 99.99% nothing, except that I'd want to be more educated. But don't go out there and try to get educated so much that you don't do nothing. You know what I mean? Don't just get so book smart that you become, life broke. You know what I mean? Do a little bit of both. Try $10 here, try $100 here, and then you read up and read up. Get around somebody who knows what the hell they're doing and wants to see you do good. You guys have the same type of goals in mind. Find somebody who really, really wants to see you do good. Don't just get around people, man. You say, "Oh, that
Give
shit
them
ain't gonna
expo.
work."
Give them expo.
you know. So you get around somebody who has the same goals you have. Does
Yeah,
that make sense?
I agree with that 100%. And I've been in this space since 2017 as well, but I didn't take it seriously until about 2020. I was in that nerd stage from 2017 to 2020 where I was just studying. I buy a little
Right.
bit, but I wouldn't flip it. I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't do anything
Yeah.
with it. I was just kind of learning. And I always look at your story because when you talk about getting around the right people, networking and making connections, I think that's almost more important than actually buying the crypto,
Yeah.
because if you're around nine broke people, you're gonna be the 10th one. You know what I mean? So
10th in the
it
11th.
exactly. So so like podcasting for me has opened the doors for me because I'm able to talk to all these different thought leaders, entrepreneurs, in the space such as yourself. And you never know who you can connect with. You never know who you might inspire or be inspired by. And, I always use this podcast as like a conduit for people coming from the African American community, my culture, to really see that, there's people that look like you that can be successful in this space. And they don't have to be labeled a scammer. They don't have to be labeled the drug dealer. They can actually be people that are actually giving back and educating in this culture. And, talking to you is always a breath of fresh air because, your story goes so wide and far. I really implore people to check out your YouTube channel, check out Bitcoin Rodney's YouTube channel. If you really want to see his journey and all the great things that he's doing for the community. Yes, of course, he has Lambos and nice cars and he's chilling at the Fountain Blue. But at the same time, you got to understand where he started from to get to that point. And I think that's where we miss in our culture, where we want to just have the riches and the fast money, but we don't want to embrace the journey and the struggle to get there.
Everyone, I won't say the word everyone. Everyone is a very, very strong word. But a lot of individuals who look like us, they want the microwave deal. They want to put it in the microwave and then be done in a few minutes. And it's definitely just not like that. The only thing that could be microwavable is the thought process. And if you don't increase this right here, if you don't get this right, it'll definitely go left. Get this right, or it will go left every single time. The association, you got to be strong in what you actually really, really want. When I first got into crypto, everybody said, "Oh man, that's scary. Don't do that, man. It's scamish." You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I said, well, when I went to London, all of the other people were doing it. No, nobody like me was doing it. Right? I said, well, at least I'll be the first. I'm gonna get, I either I'm gonna win first or I'm gonna fail first. Either or. You know what I mean? And I've been in programs where I've shared information when I mean, if information I thought to be intelligent at the time, based upon those I was dealing with. And for the moment when the laws were as they were, it was. And then once the laws changed, that company maybe stopped paying people lost money, people made money. And it always seemed like, those who got in early made the money first. And those who got in at the end, they lost. But I told a lot of individuals that, hey, if you get in and educate yourself and take whatever you put in, get that money out first. Play and then play with the house's money. Because there's no guarantees here in this game. The only guarantee is that it's here. And I think it's here to stay. But not any one particular program. Like there are a lot of people out there who make a living just trading by themselves. They sit in front of a computer all day long, and that's their life, right? I don't want to do that. I want to be able to get educated and be able to do multiple different things. To have multiple streams of income using those different platforms out there, finding out what's the best. Some will, some won't, so what? That's the name of the game. And once you get that part down packed, you can be bigger or better than I ever will be. You know, um, I've taken a lot of the bumps and the bruises already. I've actually come from prison. I mean, the real prison. From cells to cells, actually. You know what I mean? And I always tell everyone, hey, I'm not some perfect guy. I'm just willing to work harder than you. I'm willing to stay up all night long, all morning long. You cannot work me. I don't feel good being broke. I don't feel good not being able to take care of my son. I don't feel good not being able to pay my rent. Those things don't feel good to me. When I've been evicted before, I said, I don't want that to happen again. Being outside in the street in the rain when you're shitting and shit on the street, that didn't feel good as a grown ass man. Didn't feel good. So I mean, I worked and I worked and I worked diligently. Went through the bumps and bruises, still going through them. You know, the day when it ends that you no longer have problems will never happen. You have enough money to handle your problems better. That's all. Problems are never going to stop. They're going to keep coming, but you become better equipped mentally and have the associations to be able to handle certain things you couldn't handle before.
Hey there, fellow Bitcoin enthusiasts. We just wanted to take a moment to appreciate you for tuning in to the Bitcoin Source, a Bitcoin conversation. Your support means the world to us as we dive into the exciting world of Bitcoin, blockchain, and all things cryptocurrency. If you've been enjoying our content, don't forget to hit that like button. It's like a virtual high five that keeps us motivated. And hey, sharing is caring. If you know someone who'd geek out over Bitcoin as much as we do, hit that share button. Finally, if you want to stay up to date with all our latest episodes and insights, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You won't want to miss a single update. Thanks for being a part of our community. Keep exploring, and remember, the future is decentralized. Now back to the episode.
Yeah, I hear that. That's facts. That's 100% facts. And you know, when I think about you, Bitcoin Rodney, I always think that you're such a smart guy because I saw in one of your past episodes you talked about some books that you recommended for people, and The Greatest Salesman in the World was one of your favorite books, which is also one of my favorite books. You named yourself Bitcoin Rodney. So you're always attaching yourself to this digital asset. So as Bitcoin grows, your name is going to continue to grow because your name is Bitcoin Rodney. And, as Bitcoin gains this wider adoption, people are complaining about scalability issues or, you know, the SEC, some of these other government institutions that are really hammering down on crypto right now. But what are your thoughts on scalability, the scalability challenges that Bitcoin faces, and do you believe that solutions like the Lightning Network can address those effectively?
It's a very, very good question. Scalability, I do believe 1,000% that we're going to be able to scale Bitcoin and a lot of other different cryptocurrencies. There's no way that I can see that um, that it's going anywhere. Yeah, I think they're gonna try to put definitely governors on certain things, and I think that we have to learn to either go through it, deal with it, go around it, move where the crypto is definitely more acceptable. I mean, I can't guarantee or tell you the exact way, but I do know some of the ways that I'm going to do it to make sure that I stay above the curve. And I know some of the things I don't think I'm going to mention right now on the podcast, at least not yet publicly. But and let me say this: for those who are in crypto, I had crypto first, and then what I did, I took that money, and I reinvested it into other businesses as well, businesses, and then those businesses created more income. So they stretched my crypto, if you know what I'm talking about. They stretched what I had here and made it to here. You know what I mean? Um, there are actually more private coins out there right now that a lot of individuals don't know about that I happen to know about that you're not going to hear about unless you're in the right circles. So I tell everyone in this day and age, get around some people who that intimidate you. Get around those guys. Get around those guys that, and if they like you, they'll tell you something that no one else is going to know. And then you share it with your inner circle of those who can take advantage of the information. And that is some of the most best information or advice I can give someone is to increase their association, especially with some people who are in the same line of work that they're in, and scale that too. Not only scale your crypto, scale people, scale your association. That's very, 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 very important. I mean, used to be a time where I had time to talk to every person and I give everybody advice, and 99.99% of them would never, never listen. It is one ear, not the other. Now they beg me for information, and I'll give it to them no more. Now you got to pay, and pay a lot, you know, because this information is very, very valuable, especially if you apply it, you know. And like when I do some of my trainings and coachings, I release information that no one knows or even sees coming because I'm in another inner circle where guys who do numbers that no one would believe, and I happen to be in those circles. And and to this day still, I still am in a learning process. I'm still learning every single day. I mean, to me right now, one of the biggest assets of traditional wealth or transformation of wealth is in the cannabis industry. And I found a way where I'm dealing with a company that they are the Amazon of cannabis and still pay you in Bitcoin.
Yep.
So now I was able to combine the two, you know. Um, so I believe that's a very good way to be able to scale your crypto is still do some of the traditional things and have the traditional things have the nuances added to it as crypto. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. That makes perfect sense. And Rodney, I'm an avid book reader, and I think that reading is super important. And there's a book that you have that's one of your favorite books. It's also one of my favorite books, which is The Greatest Salesman in the World. And when you talk about uh taking crypto and actually building it into these other things, I think that's where the missing piece is for people, because some people are really good at making money, but they're not good at expanding that money and compounding it. And I think that your story, what you teach at your seminars, is what is the missing link in our culture when it comes to cryptocurrency. Because you could have someone come on the Breakfast Club and talk about crypto, how much they made or how successful they were, but they don't learn those inner workings of, like, how do you leverage your skill set? How do you
Right.
leverage, you know, the 10x that you made on this coin, or the 10x that you made on Bitcoin? How do you actually take that and make that tangible? And I think people like you are very interesting and unique in that space. So I want to thank you on air for what you've contributed to the culture thus far. And there's so much more that people have to learn from you.
I definitely really appreciate that. I wish we had more time so I can get into those corners and creeps and crevices and get into some real, teaching and coaching. Another time, another podcast, we'll go into some more direct questions and see if I can help out your community and get some guys that listen to your podcast from zero to hero. One thing I think is very important to learn before we go is I think that got me to where I'm at today is the same thing you just mentioned, and that's my name. I brand everything:
Yeah.
hats, my cars, my socks, clothing, everything. And like you have on your Bitcoin right now on your shirt. But if everyone wanted to be large in whatever area that they're in, brand yourself so people know you as that brand. I mean, I wear other name brands these days, but I wear mostly my brand. I can afford to wear other clothes now, but before I couldn't. All I can afford to wear is my shit,
Yep.
my brand. And now you could be in China, you could be in Bali, and mention the name Bitcoin Rodney. Someone there knows me or heard of
Yep.
me.
Yep.
Those guys, man, that all I want to do is see somebody do well. That's it.
Yep, most definitely. And likewise for me. So, once again, Bitcoin Rodney, man, thank you for being on the Bitcoin Source, a Bitcoin conversation. Have a good one.